Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Talk Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of MidRank Madness. This is a very special Patron edition here on snowy Mesa, and it's a 2v2. In the top side of the map, we have the red team featuring the red Zerg player, Pat, and his teammate, the other red Zerg player, NotEGIdrA. NotEGIdrA from Evil Geniuses. That's fantastic. Blue says, "Are you a big fan of Idra? I've never heard of him," says NotEGIdrA. That's hilarious. And in the bottom side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player, AntonK, and his teammate, the blue Zerg player, JuGG. Alright, so JuGG and Anton versus Pat and NotEGIdrA. Again, this is a Patron cast, which means one of these players is a subscriber to me on Patreon for $10 a month. And he sends me replays every once in a while. I'll definitely give them a cast because I really appreciate the support I'm getting from him. I'm actually starting to get some more people involved at that $10 a month level. So if you want to get your plays cast like for Sortin by Falcon Paladin, go ahead and hit me up on patreon.com. Hit that $10 a month level. And honestly, that's basically Netflix. That's Hulu Plus. That's a lot of things you subscribe to. And the entertainment available on my channel is a lot. It's a lot of StarCraft. You can watch twice every single day. The days it's one cast, they're at least 45 to an hour long. Well, 45 minutes to an hour long. So give it a check. Hit the top right for that Patreon link, and everybody will be very pleased. Ooh, also, it's not required to be a $10 a month donation. I mean, we're looking at anywhere from $1 at the minimum. If you just want to send me $1 every month, that's $12 a year. That would be amazing. If every one of you guys sent me $1 a month, that would be the best thing ever. Like, I would have to do something so nice for all of y'all. But regardless, we're scouting here with a probe from Anton. Oof, gets taken out by some lings and a drone who was along for the battle for some reason. Both of the red players have expanded. They've got hatcheries along this left side. And JuGG, on the other hand, is one base in it. So he's going to have... Does he have speedlings? Tell me he has speedlings. He doesn't even have speedlings. Dude! And he's going to stick an extractor here. Oh, no, he doesn't have an expansion. Okay, so thank goodness. He has an expansion coming up. Anton's on one base, but he's going for a double gateway. He's going for a warp gate. He's got a pylon coming up as well. So nobody's looking super aggressive at this point in time. I would like to see an expansion out of Anton, but it looks all the world as though he is 4-gating. So, I don't know. Are 4 gates viable in 2v2s these days? I haven't played the 2v2 ladder in a while to be able to tell you. I'm also not entirely sure what level any of these players are, as on the loading screen they all had just empty border portraits. So I was told this is about a MidRank Madness, so I'm assuming at least a gold minimum on the level of the players here, but we will see. Sometimes we're surprised by this. Twilight Council on the way from Anton. And if any of our team games in the last couple of weeks are an indication, then we're going to see some Sky Toss out of this dude at some point, because it's just so much Sky Toss from Protoss in the team games. Pat has a bunch of lings coming across the map right now. That is 16, 20 Zerglings coming up. They don't have speed, but I'm not sure how much it matters, as there's no speed on the other players either. Oh, but there is some adept support here from Team Blue, and they are chasing away these lings of Anton's. More lings coming in. Is he waiting for speed to finish before he starts? Oh, wait. It's that other NotEGIdra's lings. Oh, no! 2 Zergs with the same color. This might get super confusing, but that's okay. We'll roll with it. So here we go. NotEGIdra's lings are here. They are speedlings. They're trying to run around and scout things. There's not a base on this right side, which is very good to know. A bunch of Patslings are here now. They do have speed. They're trying to... Oh, well positioned by Anton's adepts here, though. Not going to happen. Between a rock and a hard place, but it's safe against lings. Lings versus lings. All of the lings of JuGG are getting destroyed. Get out of there. Get out of there, lings of JuGG. Some defensive lings here at the natural base of JuGG. Queen assisting as well. Adepts trying to come in here at the same time. Drones fighting, and I don't think they actually have to, so get back to work. Get back to work there, drones. Nobody asked you to get off that work line. There we go. Actually, JuGG totally did ask him to get off that worker line, and he did. Baneling Nest on the way from NotEGIdrA, rather NotEGIdrA. Resonating Glaives coming in from Anton as well. And those Zerglings are going back home from Idra. Defensive Spine Crawler up for Pat. He might be worried about adept counterattacks, which is a fair concern considering the fact there are a few out there right now. Anton looks like he's going to try to expand. It's about 4 or 5 minutes in, so it's a little bit late for that, but you know what? Having these apps really helped in the early game against those lings, so perhaps Anton does know what he is doing after all. It was more of a 3-gate expand anyway than a total 4-gate. He's got a Forge on the way. He's got a Templar Archives coming up here too. I like what he's doing. I like the tech we're seeing from the Protoss player. Hydralisk Den on the way from JuGG. Yes. And what are our Red Zerg players doing? Hydra Den up here for NotEGIdrA as well. And Pat is working on a Spire. Okay, so like a Hydra Mutalisk combination could be pretty good. Composition and combination, brain. Man, it is too early. I actually have a day off from work today, so I'm casting a little bit early in the morning, which apparently not great for my voice. You might hear some scratching in here. Seem to be a little bit more on my game when it is later in the evening. Spore Crawler's up for JuGG. I don't think he even knows there's a Spire on the way. He's just getting Spore Crawlers. Same thing for Pat here. He's got Spores up in his mineral line. EGIdrA says, static defenses for the week. Do any of his bases have static defense? Nope, he's got queens, and he is just rolling with just queens right now. Muscular Augments on the way for NotEGIdrA. Same deal for JuGG. Getting +1/+1 for his Hydras is JuGG, and has the evolution chambers for it, IDRA, but he's not actually quite working on it yet. So we have a nice Hydra Ling Adept Archon deal here from JuGG and Anton. I'm liking this quite a bit. We'll see if they can get there across the map, get some damage done, or if it will all be futile. Seems possible. More Spore Crawlers coming up for the Blue Zerg player. He's doing the static defense thing pretty darn well. Is it time to go? It's time to go. These Lings are just following the Adepts, which is a pretty good strategy. If any Lings come in, they will attack them on defense, but I just like manually controlling my Lings for run-bys and repairs and things like that. IDRA calls out the ink. Here comes Team Blue. The Archon in the back is not exactly where you want him. I think you want him in the front to absorb some damage from the Lings. Pat does have several Spine Crawler. Whoa, Pat. Maybe too many Spine Crawlers. 7 Spine Crawlers up. Here at his natural base, there is an Ursidon observing all of this. Roar. He might mess up the pathing of somebody at some point. And JuGG actually decides it's time to go home. Does he see that? I'm really confused here. No, he doesn't. Why is he heading home? No. You could have done some good work here. Speed Banelings are out for IDRA, which are really good against both Adepts and Hydras. I love that decision from NotEG. Robotics facility done for Anton as well. Possibly some Immortals. No, some Immortals would not be amiss. I'm pretty much a giant fan of that. Holy spines, dude. 8th and 9th Spine Crawlers coming up at the natural base of Pat. He really doesn't want to die to anything in this early game. But again, that slows down his macro. That slows down any level of ability that he has to get into the mid-game with a ton of workers. If we take a look at it right now, Pat, where's Pat? Pat has 41 Harvesters, lower than anybody else, but actually not bad. 44, 44, and 47 for the other 3 players. JuGG is taking the bottom right gold base for Team Blue, and IDRA has the gold base in the top left for Team Red. Both teams have taken it. The Mutaflock is here for Pat. Pat flying in with those Mutas, and there are spores up. There are spores up here. Yep, there we go. Spore up for JuGG. 2 spores, a bunch of Hydras as well. Nowhere to go, Pat. This is a bad place to harass. Come back somewhere else, please. And he's thinking about it. He is thinking about coming back somewhere else. +1/+1 is done for those Hydras for JuGG, which is fantastic. Is that a scouting? Was there a scouting probe or an observer? I think it was an observer up here that died, but he did scout the Spire, which, duh. There's a Spire because there were Mutas that attacked us a minute ago. Getting +1/+1 is IDRA a little bit late, and a Hydralisk Den coming up for him as well. So Lings trying to roll it. Oh, man. Lings and Banelings and Hydras trying to attack here at Anton's natural base right at the front door, but I'm not sure there is enough here. There are a lot of Adepts against these Hydras. The Mutas flying in, trying to kill stuff at the same time. There are cannons, though. There are a bunch of Hydras, and this is going super poorly for our red team. I don't think that was efficient for Team Red at all. The Banelings got some nice hits off, but lost a lot of Lings. The Mutas at least did not sacrifice themselves for no reason. So the Mutas did decide it is time to fly on back home. And then they do. +1 flyer attack on the way for Pat for his Mutalisks, which haven't been the most effective, but they are kind of keeping Blue in their base right now. Hard to move out when there's a giant flock of Mutas coming to murder you at any point in time. Man alive. The 9. Okay, so there are 10 Spine Crawlers here at the front door for Pat. They've done nothing, which is why you don't want this much static defense, as it turns out. Mutas flying in to JuGG's main base. Spore Crawlers, 3 spores, though. Man, those things hit really hard. 30 damage per shot. Where am I? No, that's the Hydralisk. Spore Crawler. Yeah, 30 damage per shot versus biological stuff in the air, and they hit fast, too, right? 0.61. Attack speed, that's almost 2 per second. Corruptors now coming in for Pat. I don't know why Pat feels like he needs Corruptors. Is there any sign of Sky Toss or anything you want to kill with Corruptors? No. Not really. Not really, no. Expanding at the other gold base is Anton, and NotEGIdrA taking the other gold base. NotEGIdra's taken all of the gold bases, not sharing with his opponent, or his friend, Pat, very well. JuGG has a base in the top right as well, and what are we looking at? A bunch of High Templar. Do they have Storm? They have Storm. Ooh, Anton has Storm. Greater Spire. Oh, okay, so Pat's going Corruptor for Broodlords. He's not going Corruptor for Corruptor's sake, which, again, makes no sense considering what Team Blue is doing, but for Broodlords, I'm totally on board with that one for sure. We got Creep Spread from NotEGIdrA moving across the map. Pat not really doing much with that. Pat taking a base in the bottom left here. Ooh, very sneaky attempt to take it. This is on Blue's side of the map. Warp Prism sitting up here by these Overlords and gets scouted by NotEGIdra's Overlords. That's pretty hilarious. Go get it. Go get it, Mutas. The Mutas are flying across the map to try to get there. Broodlords are going to be here soon. Greater Spire about 60% complete. And Mutas, goodbye. Warp Prism, you had some ideas, but now you are dead. Adepts killing Creep Tumors. Creep Tumor hit squad is here. Is he going to stop it is the question. NotEGIdra not really stopping. He's got some lurkers burrowed here at his second gold base along the left side of the map. Mutas chasing away the Adepts, and a Storm chasing the Mutas away. Yeah, get out of there. Get out of there. We have Sonic Storm. How do you feel about that, Double Zerg player? And the answer is we'll get things that aren't necessarily too injured by Storm. Oh, look at that. There's an Ursidon in this mineral line, and drones actually just go underneath him. That's hilarious. That's actually kind of cool. They're like, excuse me, we're just going to go under your legs here. Please don't eat us. And he doesn't, because Ursidons are generally nice. Big old army here from Anton. He's got the Storm. He's got the Archons. He's got the Adepts. He has an Immortal JuGG with a bunch of Hydralisks. +2/+2 on those guys. But the Greater Spire is done. It is done. For Pat is Pat. Oh, Greater Spire coming up for JuGG as well. We could see a Broodlord versus Broodlord battle, which I don't think we've seen in a long time, if ever, on the channel in a team game or otherwise. Colossus on the way. Extended Thermal Lance beginning to be researched by Anton. He is recognizing that, you know what? Our opponents are leaving us alone. I can tech up quite a bit. So he has some lurkers here on the edge of the creep for NotEGIdrA. Just trying to make sure if any Adepts come in here to try to clear out the creep, they will die. Observer scouting them out, though, and says, what up? There are lurkers here. Do not walk over this direction unprotected. Probe for Anton. Ooh, is he trying to expand over here on this left side? Oh, he's going to scout this base by Pat. Taking another gold base. Who's going to take this gold base? NotEGIdra has a base along the left side he's working on. And who is it? Who's going to come down with a probe and take this thing? Someone's thinking about it. Where is a probe that's on the move? This is driving me crazy. Oh, here it is. Pat. Pat finally gets his first gold base. Congratulations, Pat. NotEGIdra has allowed you to take the gold base. Broodlord's on the way for Pat as well. And are we going to take every every base on this map? We very well could. Right now there are 3. Okay, there are 4 that haven't been taken. So we have a little bit of a ways to go. Archons have +2/+1. Hydras are +2/+2 for Team Blue. Hydras are +2 armor. Oh, +2/+2. Just kidding. +2/+2 for the Hydras, which is excellent, as that includes the lurkers as well. We moving out? Yep, here come. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. That is that. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ton of Broodlords in the sky here, raining down from the left side. Good storms on the Hydras and the Lings, though. The lurkers are trying to get stuff done, but they're actually getting picked off from distance here. Hydras versus Hydras. The Broodlords entirely unopposed on this left side. This is going to be the problem for Team Blue, but no, the Hydras for JuGG winning the battle on the right side and then pushing on in. All of them Mutas are going to die. And the Broodlords, again, really good in general, but unsupported. Not as good as you would think, as it turns out. Still, a ton of them here on the ground. 12 Broodlords here on the ground. In the sky, there are 12, and they're doing a pretty good job staying away from the Hydralisks. Corruptors here for JuGG, trying to get rid of them as well. We got Observers, Overseers rather, following, and the Broodlords managed to escape this. Surprisingly enough, they get the heck on out of there. So we got more Hydras here from JuGG. We got Stalkers. We got Disruptors. And Team Blue is pushing across the map right now. It's not looking very good for Team Red, except for the fact that there are, again, these a million spine crawlers, which the Hydras are not too concerned about. So they're going to go ahead and take these things down. Some defensive Hydras are showing up, though. And JuGG decides he doesn't want to engage on his own. So then coming in from the top side is Anton with disruptor shots that really don't hit much of anything there. Unfortunately, that would have been really nice. But Archon having a nice day. 26 kills on that Archon. Are you kidding? Banelings rolling in to Team Blue's Hydras and doing some damage, not as much. Another group of Hydras, though, doing much, much better on that front. Wow, clearing all of those Hydras out, and they all get killed with the support of the Lings. Broodlords on the high ground doing very well, blinking under them with the Stalkers trying to kill him, doing pretty darn efficiently here, but they get surrounded and murdered with only 3 Broodlords remaining. A counterattack of Lings from Team Red does take down a Disruptor. We got some defensive Stalkers and cannons here for Anton, trying to hold their own. And the defensive, yes, they are going to do so. Blink Stalkers are holding it. Ling counterattack from Idra seems a little bit ill-advised, so they're going to pull back on out. Take a deep breath, and you know what? These spine crawlers might have sort of saved the day. Well, also probably a lack of micro on Team Blue's side, not getting out of the way of those banelings at all, like not even trying to move, and the disruptor shots were just whiff, 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 and one in number 2. So it doesn't look like we'll see any more bases taken anytime soon. And as soon as I say that, Anton decides, you know what, Falcon, you're wrong. I'm taking a gold base. How does that sound to you? I like it. I like this from our Blue Protoss player. Got some idle probes here, which is bad news. Spending his money fairly well, which is good. But what's he going to do here? Tempest are actually super great against Broodlords. Are we still making Broodlords, Pat? We're still making Broodlords, Pat. Ultralisks, the tech of choice here out of Idra, and Hydralisks still coming out here from JuGG. Working on +2 flyer attack is JuGG. I guess he wants some corruptors. Are you serious? Idra's taking a base on the bottom left side, like really far south right now. That's absolutely insane that he's allowed to do this. I don't think Team Blue knows about these at all. Nope. This is why you scout, ladies and gentlemen. Please scout. Please scout these places, even if you don't think your opponent's going to expand. They're at 16, 17 minutes in. There will be bases you don't know about unless you scout. I can pretty much guarantee that. Stargate first coming in for Anton. It might be a little bit too late to tech switch into Tempest here. He should have got that started as soon as he saw the first Broodlord, but perhaps better late than never, and perhaps it's too late to make a difference, but we will see. Broodlord count is back up to 7. Got several corruptors in the sky, exactly 7 as well. Got 3 ultras on the ground. Upgrades for these dudes, 7 armor, pretty awesome, and +1 melee attack. So I'm liking what we're seeing from Idra with his Ling Ultralist composition. And do they scout this? Oh! Wait. They didn't scout it, but they pinged this bottom left side. So come on, guys. Send something down. Send this Overlord over. This Overlord is about 3 inches away from seeing this. Maybe they can see the drones transferring here. Oh, they can. They can see those drones transferring down. So at the very least, like, send 5 Hydralisks down and try to kill this base. There's really nothing defending it. There is a spine crawler coming up, and I'm not sure that's going to be enough. Not necessarily certain that will be enough. So we've got 2 bases that have been untaken at this point in time. They are both scouted by both teams. So it's going to be an interesting one. Corruptors flying in from JuGG to take out some Overlords. For Pat here, does that supply block Pat is the question of the day. It very well could. And Pat is... Oh, that's an Idra Overlord. So Pat should be supply blocked right now. And he is, just a little bit. Idra and Pat communicating and sitting. It is time to go. Ultralisks and Banelings and Lings leading the charge. Rawr, Banelings trying to roll in here. They're a little bit stuck, but they sneak in the back side. Ultras along the left side doing very well against the Stalkers and against the Hydralisks. There aren't any Immortals here, which is a huge problem for Team Blue. The Broodlords in this guy from the left side, again, just doing so much damage. It's a Corruptor versus Corruptor battle here. JuGG has +2/+2, and Pat has +1 attack, and that is it. I feel like this should be won by JuGG for the Corruptor battle, depending how the micro goes, but the Ultras are still going to town. These guys are killing it. 4 kills, 8 kills, 4 kills on these dudes. 5 kills on that one. An Immortal does come out for Anton with +3 attack and an Archon. Who's winning this? Somehow Pat wins the battle of the Corruptors. JuGG very happy about this result, even though it looks like he's losing here. It's not a huge army for Pat and Idra, but at the same time, it does seem to be working here. Production not on fire right now for the Protoss player. He is definitely a little bit mineral starved. Infestors on the way from Idra. More Immortals coming in from Anton. Long distance mining, drones, Hydras defending here from JuGG as well. Can the Hydras take down these Broodlord Stalkers? Oh, a Stalker Hydra combination, pretty good. A Fungal does catch the Stalker so they can't blink away, but they're where they want to be, right underneath these Broodlords, and somehow they reestablish some stability here, but losing those bases, or losing that one base, they only technically lost one base. That's actually kind of incredible. JuGG coming down with his non-speedlings to get rid of this base by NotEGIdrA. Should be able to get it. I mean, these are +3 armor lings. With fully upgraded Hydras, it's just going to work out super well. There's a Fungal from a Burrowed Infestor, but I don't think the Infestors care, or the Hydras care all that much about that. Hydras right on top of these drones and lings as well, losing a lot of stuff here. Idra, but a ton of defensive lings coming in. Fully upgraded lings, almost fully upgraded, just missing that +3 attack. Good positioning by the Hydras, though, clearing a lot of these dudes out. But they're just getting overwhelmed with a sheer amount of numbers here. Fungal getting thrown down on units that are no longer there from Idra, but that's A-okay. Some Stalkers coming into this base with an Immortal, trying to finish this thing off. But lings are so good against Stalker Immortal. They're not wonderful against everything, but against this they are. And the entire blue army gets massacred there. Blue Lords are back in the sky. What are we looking at here for supply right now? I wish I could look here. Idra's at 106. Pat is at 100. Anton's at 49. And JuGG is at 87. So definitely falling apart a little bit here. Trying to expand to the top right again was a Zerg player getting taken down by the blue. But we've got lings running inside Anton's gold base here. And Immortal trying to kill those Zerglings. Is up to 4 kills so far, which is pretty good news. Lings going after Anton's gold base, still going there, and that's it. JuGG taps out. Ooh, Anton taps out, and Pat and NotEGIdrA are victorious. Woo! That was a crazy game. That was absolutely nuts. Resources lost. Check this out. NotEGIdrA lost 35,800 resources by himself. Pat, super cost efficient, man. 19,000 compared to 25 and 28 for his blue opponents. Yeah, at the end of the game, there were 5 Broodlords, 2 Corruptors, a Muta, and 22 Lings here for Pat, whereas Idra had 10 Infestors and 55 Lings, and that was it. But it was enough. It was enough. They were killing bases. They were winning just battles here and there, and it was enough to get the win. So nicely done by Team Red, and that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.